What's up?
What's up?
What's up, everybody? 2021 is here. A lot of stuff happening.
Outrageous Fun. Season 3.
What's up, everybody?
What up?
How we doing?
We got some new subs again.
Yeah, we have a bunch of new subs.
Hit 1,000, baby.
Yeah, dude, you know what's kind of annoying? Which is,
that?
well, dope. Well, welcome to the fucking party.
Right.
Y'all. But what's annoying is I was watching, like, attentively for it to get to 1,000. Like, I kept refreshing it. And when it did, I was, for some reason, expecting, like, some big... Like, I've gotten so many emails from YouTube, like, congratulations on, like, 100 views of your first...
Yeah.
So I was expecting an immediate, like explosion of, like, YouTube energy coming my way via email. I still haven't gotten an email about
I don't know if they will.
Congrats on 1,000
Dude, weird
subscribers.
that it was at 995 last night. Me and Joe were texting. We're like, dude, we're so close. Like, we're going to get to 1,000. Holy shit. It was at 995. And then I checked again, and it went down to, like, 986.
Yeah, well,
and then I woke up in the morning, and usually it's like a bump up of, like, 20. And then it was at 997. I was like, are they keeping us down, man?
Well,
but then we broke 1,000.
Was it definitely at 996 last night? Because I thought so too.
1,000%.
It was, right? Okay,
Yeah.
when I woke up and saw 986, I was
They
like,
tried
well,
to
maybe
keep us
it
down
was-
for a second, but we blasted through the,
Yeah, I was like, maybe
the glass
it was,
ceiling, baby.
Maybe it was, I missaw it.
On to
Did you-
1,000.
What?
So much easier to find Joe than looking
Anybody else?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally going to bring that up. I'll bring that up right now. Speaking
yeah.
of YouTube, so...
Right. Are we back? Are we back?
Don't you think that'll like provoke more things to happen?
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't give a fuck, honestly. I really don't.
Are we back?
Yes.
Yeah, we're back. So, yeah.
So we're back.
But for real, welcome new subscribers for sure.
Welcome new subscribers. Thank you for joining along. A lot
We,
of positivity thrown our way.
Tons. We're
hate
we're
that.
new to attention. And so, therefore, we've been reading, like, more comments than we're probably supposed to.
Right.
And it's been super fun.
And by some, I mean all.
By some, I mean just about every comment. 99% of which have been overwhelmingly positive.
Which was awesome.
I never expected.
Yeah, right.
Our last video that went wild that got any comments really was about a conspiracy theory, and it was all hate. It was not good.
Or John Mulaney's breakup and also got a lot of hate.
Right, a lot of hate. So there was a lot of positivity here, but except for, like, one. One person called me
Specifically
a
for-
Mexican also, which is bananas. I am
Someone
not
said,
Mexican.
who's that gay lad making all those sounds? Chap thinks he's funny. I think it was referring to me because I was going like this. Ah!
Yeah, he had to be British because he
Yeah.
said lad and chap.
But it felt
is
like a
fun.
fun jest, though.
But anyway, yeah, so I, the other night, I just could not sleep. Like, I was like, my heart was just racing in bed or whatever. And whenever that happens, something's always going on. Like, it's kind of like a weird thing, like an
Are you telling me
intuitive thing.
that you preemptively saw this email that...
No, I didn't see anything. I was just like, couldn't fall asleep that night. And I was like, what's going on? It was like 1 a.m. I'm like, I can't go to bed. I'm like, let me look at my phone, I guess.
Okay.
Whatever. I look and I see an email from like 10 minutes prior from some guy. I'm not going to mention his name. Even though I'd love to, but I won't. And it was like outrageous fun episode review, and it started off super polite. It was like, Mr. Cormio, I just wanted to say, I honestly should read it, but I'm not gonna because it made me sad. But long story short, he called me very offensive because of the way
Very
we were
offensive
talking.
and rude.
Offensive and rude. Which this is
Told
not
us
news.
all the reasons. Yeah, that's...
Right, I already know I'm rude.
We weren't trying to not be offensive nor not be rude.
Right, I was offending the people
Right.
I was speaking about
Right.
purposely, so I got that, but.
Right.
But it was more of like a racial comment, like I was being offensive racially, which I was not trying to do. So I did feel bad about that. But I'm literally waking up at 1 a.m, couldn't sleep already,
Right.
and now I'm reading this email. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, I'm never gonna sleep again.
Let's circle
Like,
back to the fact that you claim you're a fortune teller and you like you had some weird clairvoyant
dude.
spirit telling you that you were about to get a hate mail.
Well, I told you what happened a couple weeks ago with my grandma. So a couple weeks ago, I woke up out of like a dead sleep. I had a dream about my grandfather who passed away last year. I woke up. I don't know if this ever happened to you. I woke up bawling, crying.
I've never woken up. No.
It's never happened to me either until this one time. So I woke up and I was sobbing, and I thought it was like a dream, and I was like, wait, I'm fucking crying? This is weird. What the hell is going on? So the next day I found out that my grandmother had like this heart condition that she wasn't telling anybody about because she didn't want to worry the family, but it was like a serious heart condition.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours after I found that out, I found out that my other grandma had this cough for like a month and a half. Next day, gets admitted to the hospital for like side pain. They think she has pneumonia. I'm like, I have one dream about my grandpa. I wake up crying, and then everybody's dying. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody's okay. But I was freaking out. So I was like, all right, there's some intuition there.
Yeah, I'm all in for Joe's clairvoyant powers.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I wouldn't
all
go
in
that
for it.
we could use it.
Well, let's go. I'm looking for more. I'm gonna keep digging.
I mean, don't count on it.
Yeah, that email was pretty rough. Joe hit me up at mid, and he was so defeated.
2 in the morning.
Yeah, he was like I could feel, and he was just like, I just got some hate mail, dude.
Oh yeah, deleted my Facebook.
It was pretty bad. I was like, I woke up to that. I was like, shit, dude.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna be the first one to get hate mail, but I didn't think it'd be first video.
Right.
I really don't know how they.
No,
found
I got some good hate on the Fripple Drip video.
Yeah, but that was more so you were just being like kind of a bitch, and you were being called a bitch.
No,
like you weren't being
people
called a racist.
People were telling me that it was terrible that I was laughing at. They were saying how real it
that
was,
too.
and
Right.
that I was a terrible person for laughing at like children being murdered. But it was a conspiracy theory that who knows what's happening there.
Well, now that we've gotten back on YouTube with that video, I do want to bring that up. Like so we had a video about Frazzle Drip, which is this wild conspiracy theory. Don't Google it, and you could, but don't.
Definitely.
Yeah, don't. But you could.
Maybe
And-
stop using the word.
Well, we're good. So my point is,
We appealed it.
We appealed recently. This was like a year ago. It got removed, and it was our first video that got.
I was
like,
just feeling.
any
I was like, I want to
traction.
clear. We got 2 strikes on us. Like, no, we got 1 strike, but we got 2.
We had 2 videos
problems. I was like,
removed,
I want to try and get rid of these things.
Right. So Dylan appealed both. We appealed the ivermectin video, which blew up pretty quick.
Right.
And we appealed the Frazzle Drip video. The Frazzle Drip, like within like a day, gets approved. They're like, oh, it's back.
Right.
Oh, wow. And I'm like, delete it right now.
I did. I deleted it immediately.
I was like, delete that shit right now. And and the ivermectin video, which was certainly less alarming than the Frazzle Drip video, I would have
Right.
to say, got denied again.
It did.
So we kept the strikes. We still have a strike for like another 50 days or some shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Fucking strike me out. Don't strike me out.
So, guess what I'm doing this weekend?
What? Camping?
Nope.
That's all I got.
Okay, I'm doing engagement photos.
Oh, you're the worst. Where are you doing them?
We're gonna have a day in the city where we just kind of like bop around and take pictures.
Who's taking the pics?
our
Maggie?
friend?
You usually keep
Kelsey.
it close to the vest.
Yeah,
friend
our friend Kelsey. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's gonna be our friend. She's gonna come in and say we're gonna have a day.
Nice.
Don't know
Who's
what
Kelsey?
to.
Do I know
Kelsey
Kelsey?
Kneisel?
Oh, I know Kelsey. Yes.
Yeah. Don't know what's gonna happen. Don't know what to expect, but just leaning into the moment.
You're going to have to do some really cringy stuff.
I know.
It's
But me and
be
Emily are
cute,
gonna
though.
have such a good time.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know
going
what
to be
I mean?
cute. It's going to be for the cuteness.
For the cuteness.
Yeah, you need it. One of them's probably going to be your save the date,
Right.
your invitation pics.
What are your feelings on like getting weird with it though? Because Emily's kind of
you're going to have to define what you're
like,
talking
you
about.
know, we definitely want our fair share of the cuteness, but like
Right.
every engagement photo you get on like a card or some shit, there are always like the 14 out of 10 cutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's too
So we're
cute.
looking to spice it up a little bit. Like if we're doing maybe like a little bit of like a thing in the woods where we're like hiding behind trees, like how does that make you feel?
Love that.
Oh, sweet.
I think go funny.
right. Yeah, like we're trying to get
Your relationship is ridiculous. If you just took like spooning pics and like
okay.
picking her up and like looking at her like up at her chin in like the middle of the park, that was it. I'd be like, this kid he's long gone. This
Well,
relationship isn't going. It's
right.
not lasting.
Well, it's gonna be hard. I don't know. You know what it is? Like, it's gonna be an improv game, but it's gonna be hard to execute. Like, I don't know what's gonna come up of it. You know?
Well, that's why you gotta tell Kelsey like you might want to take some drugs before this. Like get creative.
Like,
Tap in.
yeah, we're gonna do a wine day, so we're gonna do a wine tour and like wine it up.
Yeah, everybody, doing drinking red wine while taking pictures is always. What are you nuts? Her teeth are gonna be
What
black.
about? Did I say red wine? What about white wine?
Is she gonna drink white wine? Emily's
Yeah.
a red wine gal.
Yeah, but dude, white wine you get turned up.
I agree. Listen, you're preaching to the choir. I'm a big advocate of white wine.
I'm thinking she knows not to drink red wine.
You would hope.
One would hope. One would hope.
One would hope. Until she has like one sip of any wine, and then she's like, I just want it. Just let me drink it.
It's gonna be good.
It'll be fun. That's good. Yeah, definitely be funny. Definitely be funny. It would be weird if you weren't.
There's one. I can't say the name of the person, but there's one save the date hanging in my fucking kitchen.
I know already whose it is.
And it is It's like a compute. It's like when you go to like Hallmark in the mall and you're buying picture frames and there's pictures already in the picture frames.
It's that.
It's that picture. And it's just don't do those pictures.
No.
I don't know what's gonna come out for us on Saturday, but don't do that one. Don't do that one. You know who it is.
I know who it is.
You know who it is.
And I think I'm gonna. I don't know if we're talking about the same person right now, but one of my friends basically almost broke up because of their save the date. Like his fiance like couldn't decide between like fucking 6 pictures of the two of them, and it was like they're all so beautiful. Like it got so heated they fought about it. It's like, yo, we're beautiful and all that. Whatever
Right.
picture you want, bro. Fucking take
Point
it.
and
Like,
go.
Go. Come on. It's not worth fighting over. That's what
No.
I'm saying. Be weird. How could you fight about which picture is the weirdest?
Right.
You're just gonna giggle the whole time.
It's got to be a good balance though.
Right.
It's got to be a good balance.
100%.
Speaking of weird, we were just at a party this last Saturday, a Halloween party, having a pretty good time. Everyone socializing, house party.
Yeah, it was good vibes.
Normal folks having a good time. All of a sudden,
Out of
the music also was like a popular complaint of the party.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit too daytime beach vibe. We were looking more for like some some BPMs, like we were trying to jack it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
the kid who usually is in charge of the music was like turning up, and he was not being attentive. And the kid who kind of took his place was just like, here, put on whatever music you want, but nobody would.
Right.
So he would just keep putting on his shitty fucking like
Yeah.
jam band.
So we had
trash.
just took over.
It was
Joe
awful.
queued up a bunch of good songs. I queued up a bunch of good songs. We started playing some games again, and then all of a
Juices
sudden,
flowing.
music cuts out, and someone makes an announcement at the party that I originally thought was a joke.
Well, it sounded like if you've ever seen Project X, that
Right.
fucking
Right,
kid.
right,
What's
right,
his
right,
name? The Jewish kid. He's like, oh no. Who said whatever? He gets out there and he starts talking. He's like, till the break of dawn,
Yeah,
yo.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that speech, he builds it up like all dry, and then he's like, yeah. This kid comes out. You could probably do it better.
I mean,
than
it did
can.
seem like that, but it seemed like for weed. So he was like, he kind of held up this mason jar of weed and was just like, yo, everybody, this jar of weed was filled when I showed up today. And then I was just like, let's fucking go.
Kid fucking
Like,
parties,
yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah. And he's like, I didn't smoke any of it. And then we're all like, oh.
Uh-oh.
He's like, somebody stole this weed. Okay, I know everybody at this party. Okay, so and I don't know him, so I was like, "Am I getting accused of stealing this kid's weed right now?"
Well, that was the problem. Like he.
I
kept-
started checking my pockets.
I was
like, did I accidentally? I didn't even have a drink. I was checking my pockets.
I knew I didn't steal anything, but I also like the inflection and the way he was talking. He was just like, I know everybody at this party, so it's pretty upsetting that somebody stole it.
Right.
But somebody stole it. And I'm like thinking, all right, he's accusing his friends now. I am not his friend.
Right.
So he must be
I'm on the
accusing
shit
me.
list.
Yeah, like I'm top of the fucking list.
We were
No
just
doubt.
jamming upstairs. He was playing the guitar, and we were singing. I thought we had a moment, and
I complimented him on this guitar playing too.
Right.
We had a hot moment for a second.
So
And,
he was like, it's not even good weed. It's shitty weed. This is homegrown weed but it's just the principle. Like, and it just went on so much longer. And he was like,
he was like, the music will not start.
he's like,
until I
y'all
know."
better fess up. Y'all better fess up. And it was like, he wouldn't play he was holding the music hostage and would not start the music till someone was like, 'twas I stoleth the marijuana.
Well, somebody said, I think it was Jamie or something. Someone was just like, no, it was me. Yeah, it was me. Like,
Right.
put the music back on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just trying to shut him up. But dude, it was so awkward. Like, everybody's like kind of looking at each other. Like, I didn't even want to look at
I was
anybody.
like, please make it stop.
I was like, I'm looking around. I'm like, none of these people would steal like weed from like
Yeah.
some job.
All these people definitely have their own weed.
Right. If I know
If I
these
know
people,
these people,
if there's
they got
anything
their
I
own
know.
weed, man.
Right. And I'm looking around. I'm like, well, where do you think he put the weed? Where was his jar of weed sitting? Where somebody maybe could have just used it. But also, he said it was full.
It was.
It was like a
I did
huge
see
jar.
it. It was a mason jar, and it was filled with. I saw the.
Well,
That's
get
why
to-
I was like, I had to go back in my memory. I was like, Dylan, did you see a full thing of weed and then be like, I'm taking it?
Well, then we're sitting. Me and Dylan were sitting like kind of across.
So
from each
you're
other.
saying you saw it when it was full?
He saw it when
I
it was
saw it
full.
when it was
So
full.
there was a crime.
There was a
no,
crime. There was a crime.
confirmed
There was a
crime.
confirmed crime.
There was a confirmed
Confirmed.
crime. But at the time, I never saw. I hadn't seen the jar, so I was like,
Someone
who
definitely
would've stole. This
Right.
kid's just fucked up, which he was trashed,
Right?
but not that trashed.
Not
He
that
was like
trash.
6 fucking.
He said
8.
that he was drunk, but then I was just like, I'm not even getting drunk vibes right now. I'm just getting like angry that someone stole your weed vibes.
Yeah, he even said he was like, yeah, I'm drunk, but I'm more pissed. And I was
Right,
like,
right.
okay. You're scary. He's like literally 6'8". He's a big
Yeah.
boy. But me and Dylan were sitting kind of like across from each other. And I'm like, kind of like this, like wide-eyed, just like, oh shit. And I look at Dylan, he's just like mouthing me something. I'm like, what? And I'm looking over, and I just see the kid now sitting down next to another kid. I was like, what? And I'm looking, he's like, look, like fucking. I'm like, what? And tell him what you fucking seen.
So he was straight up accusing.
There was one person there, aside from me and Dylan, that this kid didn't know, but me and Dylan know everybody else in the house. This one kid was a new significant other of a girl that we were friends with.
Right.
So a new kid, the only new kid in the whole building.
And he went right up to him and he accused him point blank. And when I was watching it happen, and Joe's like having like a full, he's like, dude, like we should go get some like food tonight. And I was like, shut the fuck up and look over there. What's going on? And you were like, dude, no, like food, dude. Let's get some food.
I was lit.
And I was like, no, bro, look over there. And he didn't get it. You didn't get it the whole
No, I
time.
didn't
it was
until
happening.
afterwards.
I had to explain to you afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was just like straight up just being like, I know you stole my weed. And the kid was just like, bro, like I don't even smoke weed. Like I do not appreciate you accusing me of this right now. And they just kind of went back and forth, and it was pretty fucking painfully awkward.
Do you think that kid stole the weed? I'll say this about that kid. I met him.
Kinda.
I met him. And
If I had to guess, if I had to put my finger on it, and there was a crime, he was a suspect.
You know, when I met him, I went up to him and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" Like
You're a criminal.
No, like earlier than that.
Yeah.
He did give criminal vibes off, but like that was just like, he had some tattoos. Like I wouldn't have been shocked if
What
he
are you
was
saying
like,
about criminals?
I don't know. People, I don't know. It's just the stereotype. You're
Right.
being stupid. So, I did like I mean, if you said like, oh, that kid actually like spent the night in jail because he like robbed the fucking Dunkin' Donuts of like, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I can see
cool,
that.
yeah.
I could see him taking a Gatorade and
Right.
spending a night in jail.
Taking a Gatorade.
Walking the fuck out of the door, or whatever. And he when I went to like dap him up,
Right.
and he like turned it into a handshake and squeezed the ever living out of my, like squeezed my hand to the point, like I give a strong handshake. I have big hands. I give a good like solid hand. This man was squeezed. Yeah, I'm fucking strong. I mean, I
Settle
give a
down.
strong.
Yeah.
No, but
We
for
get
real,
it, dude.
I do. I give like as firm a handshake as you would need. Like
Right.
it's not too
Right.
strong, whatever. This kid squeezed
Taking
my
classes.
hand like it was obviously painful.
Right.
Like it wasn't a.
You think he was trying to assert his dominance to you? I think he was.
Maybe he was not tall. I
Right.
could see it.
The problem is that I think he also did that to Emily.
Yeah, she said the same
She
thing.
said that, and Emily's tiny little hand, she does not.
Dainty.
She's not a firm handshake person at all. And she was just like, the kid just fucking crushed my hand. See, I went in for a handshake, but he went in for the dap, and it was the worst dap I've ever dapped.
because he had these fucking
Like
rigid fingers.
It was like,
yeah,
and I was just like, ugh.
yeah. He's got
Get
those.
off me.
It's his fingers.
Why'd we do that?
I feel like when people just don't have good dexterity.
Right.
Like how.
Okay,
like,
so
like,
that begs the question: dexterity. How did he get his hands into
the
a
jar,
jar,
right.
steal that, and a party?
Right. Well, he didn't have large hands.
Right. Okay, I have something to add to the situation.
Add.
I had to go to the bathroom, but the downstairs bathroom was taken. So I went upstairs to the room where there's a bathroom up there. There's also a room. It's like a band room, pretty much. There's like, we were jamming up there. There's drums, guitars, whatever. And he was up there by himself playing the drums. So he was just up there by himself. So I'm just saying,
Which
he was
kid?
by himself.
The
kid
big
who was
kid?
accused of stealing the weed
was up there by himself.
was up there by himself. But he was literally playing the drums, and very invitedly and warmingly, I must add, said, "Hey, do you play any instruments?" And I said, "No, I just like to sing." And he was like, "Come on, man, like, don't you play any instruments?" I was like, "Nope." And then I peed, and then he was still playing the drums, and then I left and said, "Dude, you sound great." So we had some good banter there. Wasn't getting vibes, but he had a moment to maybe take the weed upstairs, take what he wanted, bring it back downstairs. I'm just saying.
Let me say this much then about that.
Right.
And then maybe we'll move on. That
think so.
scenario right it's been too long. That scenario right there. That kid being upstairs alone in a house that he's never been
Right.
in, of people he's never met, playing their drum set,
Right.
where the weed happened to be,
No, the weed wasn't there.
says who?
Okay. I don't think it was. I
Okay.
saw it on the bar. That's why. I saw the weed on the bar.
Again, though, bad spot for your weed that you don't want to get stolen.
Right.
If you have a fucking full jar of weed, I mean, I didn't steal it, but if I saw it, I might have. It's just sitting there, full jar of weed. I'd be taking a little couple nuggy nugs.
But
Why not?
it was like a
All of the jar.
yeah, it was like a good 65%.
Yeah, it was the most of the jar.
It's
it
an
was
aggressive.
like empty when I saw
It's an aggressive steal.
It's a lot of weed. Also, but you
Everyone
would
knows
smell,
when you're sneaking bites, you only take a little.
But it's not like stealing white like printer paper. Like it weed stinks.
Right.
Like,
the kid didn't
nobody-
smell.
If you had
imagine he went up to him and he was talking. He was like
that would have been a better strategy.
smelling him. He didn't even fucking talk to him. He just started sniffing his pockets and shit.
Would have been a very good strategy. Probably
Right.
would have found the culprit if they were still in the house.
Or he was innocent and you just wind up like smelling a dude's balls.
And that kid will never come back to the house.
Oh, no shot.
No shot, dude. No shot that kid's showing face again.
No.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that put a
Damper.
damper in the party.
Definitely a damper.
But then we watched Sexy Beast and it was lit.
Yeah, we did. We had a great night. We made some fucking chicken nuggets, some shit. It was great. Dude, I had a funny thing happen to me this morning.
What's
right,
that?
Right when I woke up. Like I woke up to like read. I have this thing called what's it called? The Blend, I think. It's like it gives you like a bunch of news stories to like read quick. It's like a 5-minute read, give you a briefing on news before work. Oh no, the Brew. Morning Brew. That's what it's called. And so I'm reading it, and on my little corner, like the notifications pop up on your computer, and it just says Election Day is today, and I like had like a PTSD, like no, fuck, like what, like got so like rattled. I was like, what do you mean? So I forgot that today was like Election Day for like whatever the midterm elections or whatever. And I just I literally cracked myself up. Like my reaction, like my heart started racing. I was like, not again. And then I was like, oh no, we're good.
2024 is going to be a rough year.
I don't know. 2024, by the time we get there, we're going to be so desensitized to the shit. We're going to be welcoming chaos.
Right.
They're going to be like, fucking, let's go. Change it up. Let's see who gets smeared.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah, come on. Bring it. Saki it to me, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, that woke me the fuck up this morning.
Speaking of headlines, let's jump into some.
Yeah, let's jump in. So, New York City is fucking wild right now, dude. So today, or I think it might have been as of yesterday, any municipal workers that were not vaccinated went on non-paid leave. And that includes 9,000 NYPD and FDNY employees, which is essentially, they said, like 40% to 45% of the firemen in the city are not vaccinated. So like
damn,
40% of the active firemen are on non-paid leave. So almost half the firemen are not working right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So 9,000 people. I mean, the city's 4 square miles. Like it's, you don't need.
Yeah, but how many cops are there? I feel like there's so many.
Probably
cops.
a lot of cops. I don't have the number on the exact.
Because FDNY is also like it's the 5 boroughs. You know what I mean?
How many cops were unvaxxed?
That's but so
yeah, so insane. And I was watching a few videos on this shit, and people are like, people are trying to say, well, all right, would you rather? Dude, what would happen? I actually have to pull this article up because it's an article about herd immunity misinformation that like the fire department basically tried to say like our employees, we have herd immunity because all the firemen either have had the virus or are vaccinated, like 70%. That's what they tried to say. But obviously like herd immunity is like a community, not just like a occupation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The community of the community.
Right, exactly.
Firemen are their own community.
So on that note, the article like made sense. But the article was it was like the first word of the article is this. And it's on AMNY, which I'm going to have to say is a opinion fucking news outlet. But it says, what happens when the first responder employed to save your life risks exposure to a deadly virus? Which is like the craziest sentence. If your house is on fire, if your house is on fire, I feel like if you're stuck in a house that's on fire, your odds of survival without like a fireman kicking the door in and dragging you out of there have to be like
you're gonna need him.
You're gonna need him to survive.
Right.
The odds that he transmits COVID to you and you die are like a 1/1,000,000% odds that happens.
That's a movie script, okay?
It's ridiculous.
It's a movie script.
And this whole article, I'm not going to go any more into it.
It's a full article about that?
It's a full article about why that's a dangerous thing and why they need to be vaccinated and all this shit and why they should be firing the non-vaccinated firemen. Literally the whole article is about it.
Read the first sentence again.
Where'd it go?
Put my brain in a pretzel.
What happens when the first responder employed to save your life risks exposure to a deadly virus? I don't know. Still take me out of the building, though. Like,
Right.
I'm fucking...
Put the fire out.
I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. We were just... fuck. Me and Dylan were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know what I mean.
Right.
I'm in a fire, is my
Right.
point.
Exactly. Slip of the tongue there.
That was a Freudian slip. But real quick.
It is.
So,
Any situation that is when people are immune because they had the virus and they still have to be mandated to get vaccines, like it's really fucking weird.
it's weird, and you want some stats to make it sound weirder?
For sure.
So, if you're vaccinated, you have a 25% chance of being infected with the Delta variant, period. That's within the first 12 weeks, because after 12 weeks, it starts to wither. So that's within the first 12 weeks. You have a 25% chance of getting infected with the Delta variant if you're vaccinated. If you're unvaccinated and haven't had the virus, so just unvaccinated, you have a 38...
Free balling it out there.
Free balling it.
Not a
raw,
lot. Not
raw
a lot
dog
of,
in the world.
Yeah, not a lot of those out there. I cannot imagine there's a lot of those left.
Raw dog in earth.
Real quick, just because like you guys have a newly found audience, do you want me to be announcing comments live or?
Announce comments live, sure.
Because you got a fan. He says, legit, one of your biggest fans here, no cap. Is this live?
This is
This
live.
is live.
What's his name?
For show.
Switch, no comply.
Switch no
Switch no
comply.
comply.
What's up, bro?
Sup, player?
And then Jack Hermes says, congrats on 1K.
Let's
Thanks,
go,
bro.
Jack.
Appreciate you big time.
Yeah.
Honestly, rattled that we're at 1K.
Yeah.
I don't
Try
even
not
want
to
to keep
think about
talking
it,
about
yeah.
it, so we'll just continue. So if you're unvaccinated, you have a 38% chance of being infected with the Delta variant.
Okay.
Without,
free balling
If
it.
you're free balling.
Right.
So it's a third reduction if you get
A
vaccinated.
third reduction.
A third reduction. But and also if you're unvaccinated, you can transmit for like 7 days. If you're vaccinated, it reduces it potentially to 5 days, right?
Okay.
But the benefits of the vaccine last like 12 weeks and then they start to wither.
Okay.
If you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated and you got the virus,
Right.
that other article we read, where is it?
If you got that natural immunity.
If you got that natural immunity, you're 27 times less likely to transmit the virus.
Whoa. Was that?
Hold on, I want to read the actual.
Did all those stats make sense in the end?
Yeah, they made sense.
If
you're-
I wrote down that if you are no.
Moving on.
Yeah, dude.
I got
The
here.
20 in the study from Israel. that
Right,
came
the
out-
study from Israel. Vaccinated people are
are
27 times more likely to get symptomatic COVID.
Sorry about that. Yes, you're
Yeah.
27 times more likely to get the virus than if you're unvaccinated and got
I
the
think
virus.
moral of the story
It's so many
is-
words that are hard to fucking
moral
put in
of
a
the
thing.
story is
so many words.
if you got COVID
Right.
and you have natural immunity,
Right.
that shit is good enough.
It's better.
Period. And it's better
It's
than the
better.
vaccine.
Right.
So if you got it and now you have protection the natural way,
Right.
and you don't have the vaccine and you're getting fired from your job, that's fucked up.
Right, so-
period. That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Thank you for fucking summing that up.
Jesus Christ,
I
those stats, I'm like-
fumbled the numbers. The numbers are wild to read.
That's why you can't use the numbers. You got to
I know.
just curse.
I was trying.
You got to curse and get loud.
I know, it's so true.
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers
People
guy.
were
I'm a
mad
curse
at
and
us
get
for
loud
cursing.
guy.
Fucking
Fuck
A.
off then.
Yeah.
Don't watch YouTube if you don't
Right.
like cursing. But anyway,
Like,
what
it's
was that?
crazy. Like, even nurses, dude, it fucks me up thinking about nurses who have been there for like 2 years and then they have.
Oh,
Because you just assume in your brain, your first assumption is like, oh, they're clearly mandating the people. Not that a mandate's good, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they're clearly mandating the people who have no immunity, right?
right.
They clearly must be doing that.
Right.
But then when you really think about it, that it's the people who are literally immune to it already, you're making them get some extra shit that they don't need nor want.
Right.
And then if you don't, you fire them? What the fuck is
Well,
happening?
the crazy thing with the nurses is they were voluntarily exposing themselves to the virus to help people
Heroes.
for 2 years.
Heroes.
Heroes, right? Then with the cops, like these people, again, they're putting themselves in harm's
Cops,
way
heroes.
to save
Firemen,
people.
heroes.
Firemen heroes. Agree.
Forever and ever.
Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't.
None.
It's the 40% fireman thing's pretty cray.
Absolutely crazy.
Do we want? It's just like, okay, here we go. But then that brings in like, okay, is it going to be vaccinated people just like I don't know, man. It's fucking weird. Like, it's just going to attract more vaccinated people to get the jobs. And it's the same way where, like, Biden wants to, like, get rid of the pipeline to, like, be more efficient. But, like, the pipeline people don't want that because, like, that's their jobs and livelihood.
Right.
But, like,
And then-
when it's moving in this direction, then they just get fucked over.
And
Right.
then he signs a pipeline in Russia.
Right.
Oh.
Then he signs
And then
another pipeline
that we
anyway.
Have to, that we
Sure.
have to ship back to here.
Right.
Which costs.
I don't know how we're getting there from COVID.
Right, but I'm
with
just saying, what I was saying was, like,
I'm sorry.
it feels like a move. I don't know. It's hard to think about why that is a thing. It's hard to, like, conceptualize why the fuck that's a possibility in this world.
Right.
Versus, like, now I'm getting cynical about it, and it's like, you want people who aren't vaccinated, who don't agree with your agenda, to, like, not have jobs and, like, push them out of the workforce.
Well, there's
and
the
fuck
not
them
even
over.
have there's the not have jobs part of it, and then there's the part of it where it's like, yo, okay, if you live in the city and half of the police, like, the crime rate is up like 50%
Right.
anyway year
Off
over
the
year,
charts.
off the charts, crazy, which was already up last year. Same, and like fires in New York City happen all the time. You never drive through the city without seeing a fucking fire truck
Right.
going somewhere. So you're gonna take away half of those employees. So, like, all right, if there's crime going on, which there is, who's there to help now? If there's a
Spider-Man.
fire, right, exactly. We got a bat symbol up there and shit. Like, what's gonna go
Settle
on?
down with the bats.
Oh shit, bat symbol. That'd be fucking hilarious if that's how Batman he came from COVID. That was the real origin story. But back to your point about you're mandating the people who are, like, not going to be affected by the virus. The weird thing is, like, the only people being mandated to the point where you can't even have your job are people that are employed, like nurses, cops, firemen, right? Like, they're employed.
Right.
The people who really should be getting mandated to get vaccinated are, like, the 65 and older who are fucking retired.
Right.
So the people who need to get vaccinated aren't even mandated to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense.
Right.
Start by mandating the people who are like vulnerable
most
to
at
the
risk.
virus. Why are we starting from the bottom up? They're trying to
Right.
like vaccinate the kids and like us. That doesn't make any sense. Like, I just still haven't heard an explanation that makes sense on
Right.
it.
It's true.
There's not one.
There is not one.
Even anytime Fauci goes on TV, I get nothing. I listen to his whole thing and I'm just like, I still don't want to. I don't agree with you though. You haven't given me one thing that makes sense.
Right.
If he said one time, like, we got to focus on getting the elderly and the people with underlying conditions, like, educated on the vaccine and vaccinated and, like, get them to stop being, like, hesitant, I'd be like, yeah, totally, man. I don't know if he said that one
dude,
time.
like 65 plus mandates don't even, like, it's, mandates now, I think originally when it happened, I was like, all right, mandates are
Right.
happening. Here we go. And, like, now that it's progressed along, I'm like, this is fucked up. But if
Right.
it was, like, just started with, like, 65 plus mandates, I'm like, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
But like,
even
even still, you can't do it. But it's like 65 plus.
the mandate, though, it's weird. It's like,
I
There's
get
a
it. Though. I
difference
get it.
between, like,
I get what it is.
I get the mandate, like, the point, or on paper, I get what the point is because you're forcing people to do it and it's for the public
Right.
health or whatever. But, like, there's a difference between, like, the mandating somebody to get the vaccine and just, like, spending your time focusing on getting those people vaccinated.
Yeah,
Like, you don't have
I almost
to
feel like
force
if
them
it's
to
like,
do it.
hey, everyone over the age of 65,
Seriously,
we
man.
seriously need you guys to get vaccinated. I feel like the compliance rate would be so much better than just like everyone has to do it, because then even the 65-year-olds that are like leaning that way, they're like, fuck you,
Right.
too. Like they're still rocking out,
Right.
not doing it.
Right. Wait, actually,
But also, if you got the virus and you have the antibodies, that also there's no nuance, bro.
there's no nuance.
Mark Norman.
Mark Norman was
Nuance is the new N-word.
I was like, that
Such a
might
good
have been-
bit.
That was one of the best bits I've seen
Yeah.
in the COVID era by
it's a good
far.
bit.
Yeah, really, really good. Definitely go check out the Mark Norman fucking nuances, the
Yeah.
new N-word bit. But it's weird that, like, I want to know, do you think people were concerned, like New York City civilians, people living in the city, do you think they expressed concern that, like, the police or the firemen that were coming into their homes were not vaccinated? Do you think
I
it
mean,
was them that... Because I was watching a few
wasn't
videos
I.
and it was like, if the people of the city want to be safe and, like, protected from COVID, like, it's their city and they vote and blah, 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 that's it, whatever. So do you think, like, I feel like there's no way that that's the case. There's no way that people were, like, writing to de Blasio and being like, no, I don't want this fireman to come fucking get my cat out of my tree. He's not vaccinated. Like,
No, dude, I was listening to this interesting thing about vaccine mandates from Crystal and Sagar, and which just fuels the fire of just like, why the fuck are they doing this? Because it basically was like all these different polls about vaccine mandates, and it's like the people who don't want to get vaccinated feel very strongly about it, very strongly. Like it's like all of them feel very strongly about it. And then the people who have vaccines and like their feelings about vaccine mandates, like the vast majority of people like don't really feel strongly about it at all.
If you're already vaccinated?
If you already, like for example, I have a vaccine. I'm pro-vaccine.
Right.
But I'm anti-vaccine mandates.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like a lot of people fall into that camp.
I fall into the similar camp except minus the being vaccinated part.
Exactly.
Right.
So what I was saying was like the people who don't want to get vaccine feel like very fucking strongly about it, like they do not want to do it. And then the other people
But
are
it's
just
for
kind of
mixed
like
reasons, though. It's for mixed reasons, people who don't want to get vaccinated.
Of course.
Like, right. Like
Sure.
some people, think it's a microchip, but then some people just are afraid,
Got it
don't want to
already.
risk it, or got it already, or strictly don't want to get it because they're being forced to do it, and they're like, fuck you.
Right.
Which I get that too.
So as someone who falls in the camp of like the apathetic side,
Right.
I don't know people. I'm sure there's some fucking wackadoos in New York City probably writing in, and those are the constituents and those are the loudest. So does that drive the policy really?
No,
I fucking hope not.
I think
But then the next step after that is some sinister shit, like they're trying to clear out New York City and make it just a liberal bubble that.
Well, that's what they're totally doing.
sucks.
So this whole thing, my dad, not that this is throwing him under the bus, but me and my dad were having a pretty wild conversation about this whole thing with the cops and firemen being fired. And he was like, sometimes you just need chaos to gain control. And it was like that's a very alarmist thing, but it's not crazy. Like it's
part of me
literally
just
what
thinks
the pandemic
COVID
is doing.
continuing on because it's the only way Democrats can like hold their jobs. Like if they
For sure.
keep perpetuating that it's a problem and keeping
Right,
their
because-
voting base like scared of coronavirus, like it helps their voting numbers. So they have to just like keep fucking pushing how horrifying it is because
Right.
that's how they'll keep their voting base.
Right, because they're not doing anything. Like
Right.
Biden has the fucking
Which
House, the
sucks
Senate, and
ass.
the White House, and he hasn't done shit.
Yeah.
Like he's not doing. Same with Obama. He had it for 8 years. He didn't do shit. So like they don't do anything. They don't get it done. So of course the fear mongering is the only way they can keep the power. But it's so true. Like the crazier it gets in New York City, which it's gonna get crazier now that there's no cops and there's no fucking firemen.
Well, I
Like
think,
remember, like
I feel like what's the percentage of cops? Honestly, I'm
I
very curious
googled
about
it.
that
I
number.
didn't. Let's see.
Because I feel like if there's 9,000, what was the number?
It says nearly NewYorkDailyNews.com says nearly 50% of NYPD cops are unvaccinated in some precincts. The thing with the NYPD cops is, I'm going further into the article.
Well, it's just not good.
No, not good either way.
It's a time we need cops.
Any precinct, like most cops in the city, maybe not most, but a good amount don't live in the city. Like I know a lot of NYPD
Commuters.
cops that are Long Island people. If you live on Long Island, you don't need to be fucking vaccinated. You really don't. So those people are not going to get vaccinated for like the city. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the disparity. I bet you a lot of the people that live in the city are vaccinated, but not all the cops that work in the city live in the city. Like I know a couple people that work in Penn Station.
Right.
They're both from Long Island.
I cannot imagine that, given all the things that have happened in the last year and a half with New York City crime and all that good stuff, that adding this to the mix is good for team morale.
No.
Can't imagine it is. 50%, whatever the number is, go on leave. And then the people that are remaining, those are like their fucking homies. And probably the majority of those cops probably don't give a shit about the vaccine mandates. And they're probably pissed off. That's not good.
No, not good. It's not good for well. It's also it sucks because like it's not like the police commissioner's fault or anybody. Like they don't have no control of this whole thing.
Right.
They're fighting it. They're trying their best to fight it. They're arguing against it. All this shit. They're talking about herd immunity and all this shit. Like they're trying to make their case for it against it. I just don't see how the whole natural immunity thing isn't going to come like to some sort of light at some point in New York City. It has to be. It's being talked about everywhere. It's like. I don't study after study after study after fucking. There has to. How could you just ignore that forever?
I think what it is that they're continuing with a zero COVID approach. Is that the game plan? Like, is it the government's game plan to still just like get rid of COVID? Is that the game plan?
Well, the government's the one. Like Fauci himself has said the virus is here to stay. Like, you know what I mean? Like people, it's. I don't think that
Google
do we have
changed their definition of herd immunity since the virus.
What's the definition now?
You could, I can get it up like the previous to like before and after, but it's like they try to downplay it in the definition. You could tell.
I'm looking it up right now. Definition: herd immunity. Resistance to the spread of an infectious disease within a population that's based on pre-existing immunity of a high proportion of individuals as a result of previous infection or vaccination. No, it's still the same. That's a good definition for herd immunity.
Let me check.
Well, this
another crazy thing about the herd immunity thing, like that includes people who were, as this definition says, that includes people who were infected by the virus, not only people who were vaccinated. I feel like they're not, like we're at herd immunity almost, probably, if you take into consideration people who got it and people who got vaccinated. We must be close to 70%. Like 50% of people got the vaccine.
Right.
At least the other 20 for
No, I think we're up to like 220 million Americans got it, and there's 320 million Americans.
got the vaccine.
220 million Americans got the vaccine. 320 million Americans exist.
So already at 75%.
right. I think it's like
Anyway.
Yeah.
Or whatever, 66%.
What, half of them died from the vaccine?
Imagine. Imagine
kidding.
110 million people died from the vaccine, and they were just like, no, take it. You can't eat here if you don't take it. Take it. And you just drop dead in the street.
The article that Joe sent me an article from Newsweek that was done by 2 epidemiologists that just basically broke down all the reasons why the Fauci approach is not working anymore,
Frankie,
and it's time to change it
Pull
up.
up that article.
And it's just an interesting article because a lot of times Fauci, when he's speaking, he's saying things like any, virologist, epidemiologist,
Ask
quote,
any
vaccinologist,
Vaccinologist, you cuck.
sandwichologist, they'll tell you.
Bologna
That-
is the superior meat.
Yeah. They'll tell you that that like anything but this way is incorrect.
Right. They
Basically.
tell you I'm right because I'm Anthony
exactly,
Fauci.
Exactly.
Fucking
Any
dick.
good one.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, you're just kind of blowing yourself, and then
Well, you're blowing yourself, and then you're discounting all the other epidemiologists and virologists that have come out and tried to say, no,
Right.
we think
maybe
this.
this guy's just, he's a cocky little bastard who
I think he is a cocky little bastard.
he's a cocky little bastard, but it's disguised well because he's an old, cute
I don't-
little old man.
It's disgusting. If you look, I looked at pictures. I'm gonna pull up the picture.
He looks like the guy who stole the weed when he was younger, honestly. He looked like he would go to a party and steal some weed.
I'm gonna wait. He does look like. No, he never smoked. He's too fucking unchill. Wait, there's a picture of Anthony Fauci during the AIDS epidemic thing, and they took a picture, and he's like posing, and he's got this smug fucking smile on, and I'm just like, this is why nobody likes this guy.
Right.
I can't find it now.
So this article says it basically just calls out like all the things. It's a Newsweek article. Calls out all the like main kind of concerns I would say that coronavirus comes with, and just gives like different takes and why Fauci's take was wrong. So unfortunately, Dr. Fauci got major epidemiology and public health questions wrong. Reality and scientific studies have now caught up with him. So one of them was natural.
start.
One of them was natural immunity. We've kind of beaten that to a dead horse there.
Yeah, well,
and one is protecting the elderly. And I didn't actually get this one because it said, after more than 700,000 reported COVID deaths in America, we now know that lockdowns failed to protect high-risk older people. How did lockdowns not work?
because
I think it was because it was too late.
Well, lockdowns didn't work, I think, because people living in their houses still had to go to like the grocery store and shit and get shit, and they were still getting them sick. So like we were locked down, but we weren't really locked down. And also it was one of those viruses where it was like, even if you were in another room of the house, like it's in the air, eventually it's going to make its way through the house.
I feel like
Type of a thing.
if you didn't go to work and like you,
That is a good, I mean, I was
feel like
just
it did
talking
work
out of
a
my
little
ass
bit.
there.
I
was
feel like it
talking
did work a little
I
bit.
feel like it did work a little bit too, but all the people who died were old, pretty much. So
think
like
all the people that
clearly
died, it
didn't
was-
work that well.
if we locked down in like 3 months like March 2020 was just too late.
Right.
Like it had spread way too much.
For sure.
So if the answer was just like, well, we just realized this spread is like way too much. There's no point of locking down. Keep going to work. A bunch of you are going to start dying though. That's not great.
Right. Well, we didn't know.
Right.
We didn't know.
But
who
I'm
was
saying
gonna-
like, what's the alternative there?
like, hey,
I feel like you had to lock down. Go home and love your family. A bunch of people are
Right.
about to die.
quick heads up, bunch you're gonna die.
Yeah. But keep going to work.
Right. Yeah, keep working.
Yeah, keep working.
Don't stop.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't
Yeah.
love that one, but
Yeah,
there was
no, I
other
didn't love that one either.
There was
because
other-
that one I think just needs you need to tell me why more.
It does raise the question though of just like, why didn't we just tell if you're over 65 years old, if you have pre-existing conditions, if you are categorically obese, go inside until we figure out what's going on. Everyone else, go out at your own risk. You know, it's not.
I mean, we've been iterating that for
I guess
the
also in the
entirety of
beginning you had
pandemic.
no fucking clue what it was, so you did have to.
Yeah, but no, it became pretty obvious pretty quick that the only people dying were fucking 80. I think like 2-3 weeks in, they were like, yeah, most people dying are like 88 to 90 years old. Like they were all older. Like they were all old, getting pneumonia and stuff. Which isn't great, but we had an idea early.
Dude, actually, if you really think early on, it was so confusing trying to figure out who it was affecting.
Dude, it was.
Like, I was like, I'm 28 and young. Am I going to get fucked up by this? And that was such a hard... Because then you would read articles that you would be like, no, you're fine. And then other articles you'd be like, no, this guy fucking got it and died.
Yeah.
And you're just like, shit.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
a scary...
It was so hard to figure out.
What's up?
So it was the who changed the definition of herd immunity.
Oh, read it.
Changed it from
The Who kind of stinks, huh? The Who's like the whoa.
Yeah.
the screenshots from the WHO's website are real. The first herd immunity definition is from June 9th version of the COVID. All right.
Just
give me the
read both.
screenshot.
Just read both, please.
Give it to
Thanks.
me.
What
Yeah.
were we just
I'll
talking
get back
about
to you.
before? What
Put
were
in
we
the
just talking
elderly
about?
inside. Put them up. You
Oh,
can't, you
no,
also,
no, we were
you
talking
can't
about-
say in
no,
America,
no, bro.
fatties go inside. You can't say that.
No, you can't even say fat. We were talking about the. That's probably why everybody died. They wouldn't say obese
Yeah,
people. They
right.
wouldn't single them out because it's disrespectful and
Right.
discriminatory.
You can't fat shame.
Fucking America stinks. But no, it's great.
Of course,
but,
it's all deleted.
Of course, right? But no, in the beginning of the pandemic, my roommate Matt is like I don't know. He's like very by the book guy. You know, Matt. Like he's
Yeah.
very conservative in that sense. Like he's like play it safe type
Right.
of a guy. And like I was too. Like I was genuinely scared in the beginning. Like I had
Same.
no idea what was going on. But like he would be. My roommate was like wiping. Oh, I just lost me for a second. Was wiping shit down and like wouldn't let me go outside. He's like, no, dude, you can't leave. I'd be like, dude, it's fine. I'm just going to get something in the car. He's like, dude, you can't fucking leave. You can't bring shit in here. Like, I got to go see my parents this weekend. I was like, okay, like, I know. I'm going to my car to get like a napkin. Like, it's okay. Like, it was scary in the beginning.
Right. This
was really
theme,
scary.
this theme brings me to a TikTok that Joe sent me recently
Oh, my Lord.
of a woman who I'm going to try and give the benefit of the doubt.
Don't.
A woman who kept the fact that you're recording it and putting it on the internet, fuck you.
Yeah.
She records her
Yeah, dude.
child.
Wait,
You're exploiting
wait.
your child for views. Fuck you. You're exploiting your child for views. That, if anything, the fact that I'm able to witness this moment was fucked up. Let me explain what happened.
Oh my
or do you want to explain what happened?
I'll fucking do it real quick.
It was your video.
There's this woman, and you honestly, when you see her, you pretty much have a pretty obvious idea of who she is, like through and through. It's
Right.
pretty obvious. But like she's like calls her little daughter over, and we'll play it in a second. But she calls her daughter over, and she's like, what's today? And it's like, oh, she makes her read like a news article, and it basically
Is
tells
it
her
Christmas morning? No, it's summer.
the news article tells her that kids like ages 1 through fucking 15 can get vaccinated, and she starts getting so excited because she's like, what does that mean? And she basically says like, well, I can go outside now with my friends. She's like, what else? She goes, I can go to stores. What else? I can like have a life. It's like fucking, oh my God, you've been in this house this whole time? Are you serious? Oh my God.
You've been inside?
You've been inside. Wait, Frankie, play the video. I don't have that video. It's the one I tweeted to you that I said that was the extra video you needed to pull up, and
I mean,
you told me to stop.
that is just.
we need to play this.
Maybe the reason I said let's give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's got a bubble boy thing, a bubble girl, pre-existing condition.
Okay,
if COVID gets her, it's like she's fucked.
I'll take the bubble boy excuse.
Okay?
Yeah, I'll take the bubble
Other
boy.
than that, this shit is crazy. Other than that, this shit is diabolically crazy.
Literally, other than that one scenario, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And there's like 4 bubble people on the planet. That's it. Full screen that thing. Chicken wing.
Yeah.
She's 9.
It's not on
We're about to blind react to something.
Okay.
What does that say? Hold on, dear.
vaccine for kids is, so next week should be clear for kids through 5 to 11.
What does that mean for you?
I can go with my friends.
And
I can finally, go outside, go to stores.
That hurts.
And she hugs her whore mom.
I'm excited.
Awful.
I'm excited for her.
I thought it was gonna be like in a couple months. No, apparently it's next week. I love you, Mom.
She's not going to say love you, mom, when she's shooting the school next year.
Yeah.
Like, what
yeah,
in the hell?
Right.
Dude.
Hashtag blind react was
not-
the hashtag.
Hashtag blind react.
So, yeah. Don't exploit your kids for your shit.
not to.
Don't exploit your kids for views. Hashtag blind react. Don't hashtag it.
No, don't hashtag.
Maybe she hashtagged get vaccinated. Fine. It's part of
Okay.
your whole agenda.
Totally.
Hashtag blind react. Not okay.
No, dude. Because first of all,
Hashtag my life. Hashtag girl gang. Not okay.
In your
Don't
brain-
go there.
in your brain,
Don't
you're-
fucking go there.
You're not thinking this is not something I should publicize, that I've locked my kid in straight up inside. Like, the kid said she hasn't been outside, basically. She can't leave the house
Yeah.
for 2 years.
I bet there's a lot of stories like that.
That's so scary.
The people are going to grow up. They're going to find fellow Facebookers that are also. You ever hear there was like a group of people that like a bunch of dudes named Sean, and they were
No.
like Sean White, and there was like hundreds of thousands of Sean Whites, and they all joined a Facebook group. There was like hundreds
That's
of thousands of them,
hysterical.
and then they all got together and had a pillow fight.
That's like
It's going to be something like that in like 15 years, but they're all going to like get together and have a good fucking cry. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude.
you've been locked inside.
too big of a group, dude.
for just.
I
You're
don't
like,
know if
dude,
they'll
you're.
do it.
How old was that girl? Like 9?
She was probably like 9. And did
9
you-
years
did you-
old.
not
Imagine
to-
your whole 9 and 10. Imagine. It's bad enough as is. I talk to kids in the office all the time where it's like, kids, they're just starting. They start high school as sophomores. So like
What do
when
you mean?
you're a freshman
What
in
do you
high
mean?
school, they like went in 8th grade. They like went on lockdown and then have been
right.
out of the classroom so long that now they're in the 10th grade. And instead of having like your freshman year of high school, you're a sophomore but you're a freshman.
Oh, that's
Don't you
fucked
think
up.
that would fuck with your head?
That would fuck with your head.
Now imagine you're locked inside your house for 2 years with only your fucking crazy ass mom to hang out with.
Hey, listen. We've
There's
all
not
been
enough
there.
Netflix in the world to make that okay.
I get locked in the house with my mom for like a Sunday dinner and I go nuts. Could you imagine? Love you, Mom, so much. Dude, also, not to pick up fun at this girl who had no control over the situation whatsoever. And obviously she was clearly frustrated.
you
She was
could
like,
see
I could
her-
go outside.
yeah.
I was like, oh shit. But like
the blink
way-
really was like trauma coming through.
It was trauma.
It was trauma coming
It
through.
was her trying not to say fucking mom. You fucking crazy bitch. Like, but while she was talking, what was going through my mind, like she was in the beginning, and this is also coming from somebody who basically couldn't speak this whole episode, but she was not like articulating words very well. The whole beginning, she was like reading it, like she was like, the mom asked her to explain like what she saw or whatever, and she had a very hard time like putting it into words. And I'm like, this poor girl also has only spoken to like her mom and dad for 2
right.
years.
And now
in
you're
person.
making her blind react
On
for
TikTok.
TikTok views.
Like the girl, she's
And
socially.
even while we're going along here, I'm like, fuck, what if this girl has a goddamn pre-existing condition? We're just being complete and total dickheads. But then I'm
it's
like,
possible. I'll take
possible.
that on the chin. It's possible. And
It's
I
possible.
apologize if that's the case.
But
it's not
also, it
likely.
just doesn't have to be TikToked. You don't have to blind. If you lock your kid up for 2 years and then the way that you tell them they can go out is you blind react them, you're a fucking asshole.
Dude, social media with parents makes me so like,
Yeah.
like even like early parents that like put their little baby on. Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
Get him
Like,
out. It's
get
like when
him
you see
outta
it's like when
here.
you see a toddler on the street in the city at midnight. It's like, what is this baby doing awake right now? Get him home.
Get him
Get your
home.
kid off social media and get your kid in that bed.
The one thing I'm gonna support with parents with babies on social media is when they do like really either cute like Halloween
Yeah, they're
costumes or
cute.
like they do the calendars where like they dress them up for a different thing every month.
yeah,
That
yeah.
shit's hilarious.
Listen,
Keep
babies
doing
are cute as hell, objectively.
it. Definitely cute.
You know.
But like there's a cringe line.
Right, exactly.
And people just have no care about crossing the cringe line.
I feel
lately.
like pictures, it's chill, but then it's like if you're making your child act in a certain way, I get weird vibes.
I don't like it.
Yeah, if you're getting your kid to go along with your shtick on the internet in front of a camera, it's weird
It's sometimes funny
because it's complicit. It's
Right,
like
it's complicit.
It's just like the kid doesn't have a choice. It's just like all right,
sometimes funny when kids make their parents do shit for social media. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Still, there's a cringe line. where I'm like, oh, geez.
Right.
Are you good?
Sorry. I got a new phone. I'm blowing up.
Put it on fucking
Everybody
silent,
knows I have a
dog.
new phone. I know.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
I just wanted to let everyone know I got a new
okay.
phone, so I let the notifications on.
Dude, I want to punch Dylan in the fucking
Oh,
mouth.
shut up. Let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. Dylan O'Keefe had an iPhone 8 that was beat to shit. The battery lasted all of 2 hours a day. It was for the last 2 years. It's been a huge source of our turmoil.
Right.
Huge source of our turmoil.
Your own turmoil.
No,
I was
fuck
fine.
You. No, you suck.
It doesn't
you were
bother
like,
me.
Oh, my phone's dead, dude. Oh, sorry, it was dead. I fucking problem. All right, it was me, but it was like you.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's me. But Dylan dropped his phone the other day, shattered it all over the place, had to get a new one. It's
tough.
I was so pumped because I was like, finally, this kid is going to put $5 towards a new phone. Thank God, finally. And he texted me. He's like, actually, I'm just, I sent it in to get it fixed. So, like, I'm not going to have a phone for like 3 days. I'm like, you're such a dick. He got this old-ass phone fixed. Today, text me, oh, no, dude, it didn't come back. Like,
They didn't show up. No, they
I
were
got
supposed
the-
to come to my apartment in a car, and I give them the phone, and they go in the car, and they just fix it in the car and go. Great service. I ordered it over the phone with them, and they got my fucking address wrong.
Oh, they sent
So they sent it.
to
They
the
had someone
wrong-
else, but they didn't even call to cancel. I had to like call, and I just fucking hung up. I was like, I got to go to the Apple store.
That's weird. Either way, you were just a source of my frustration this week.
You-
and he
you
ended
get
up, where did
fr-
you get the iPhone SE?
The iPhone SE.
iPhone SE. Never
It
heard
has a home button. Joe calls me poor because of it.
I don't go
Not
poor.
not everybody's rich like you and can afford not to have a home button, buddy.
Whoa. I never called you poor. I called you cheap because you have the money and you refuse to spend it.
Right,
you
right.
fucking cheap ass.
I'm trying to buy a house, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Zillow just
Shut
went,
up.
Zillow just went down.
Yeah, I heard the whole Zillow thing. They, they were
BlackRock's
like,
gonna buy them all, and then we're just gonna have to rent from BlackRock forever.
What?
But I'm gonna try and find.
Do you hear about Zillow?
No.
So Zillow, the majority of the way they make their money, Zillow.com.
No, they
is-
tried this venture.
No, this is how they made most of their money though. Previously, they had this venture they had this like subsidiary that would buy.
I think it was an
Homes.
algorithm.
Yeah, it was. It would like buy.
It was a bot.
Yeah, it was a bot that would buy homes on the Zillow website, and then they would flip them or like resell them, which is I feel like a conflict of interest. Like,
Yeah.
you're like it's like the Amazon thing. Like they're like, oh, this is the best selling thing, and I'm just gonna make my own and fucking promote it. That's what it felt like to me. But either way, they were doing it. But COVID, things were so slow that they had to stop because it became non-profitable. So like all these houses are
They have
getting like bought up
7,000
for cheap.
houses
Right.
that they are not going to be able to sell. And then I just saw on Twitter that BlackRock bought them all. You know what BlackRock is?
Yeah, I know what BlackRock is.
Fuck BlackRock.
Yeah.
They've been buying all the houses.
Fuck
So is
them, dude.
Bill Gates apparently has been buying like a ton of real
Dude.
estate and shit.
Speaking of fucking shitty things coming to take over our lives, I saw this other thing real quick that some fucking tech company from Hong Kong is making robot nurses. And it's like robot nurses coming to a theater near you. And it was like a whole thing that robot
Are
nurses
they going to be
coming.
required to get vaccinated?
No, they're going to shove that vaccine up your fucking ass whether you like it or not, bitch.
They're gonna be on like nuclear power, like sprinting down the street, like just
They're like,
vaccinating
please get
people
ready.
in
It's
the middle
like,
of
no,
the
I
street.
don't want one. They're just like, ska!
No, they're gonna have like fucking guns shooting the vaccine out
Yeah.
of their freaking face. Did you see the have
Fuck
you-
robots in healthcare, dude.
Speaking of
Fuck
robots, bro.
in healthcare. Get out of this shit.
Speaking of robots, have you seen anything about the metaverse for Facebook?
No.
Dude, they created like a
I
material.
know Facebook is done, and now they're just calling it Meta.
They're calling it Meta, which is odd, but yeah, they're created the metaverse, which is like a 3D world. We honestly, it's like a VR world. Like we all knew at some point something like this was going to happen.
Oh.
So that's what it basically is. But they created this material, and I'm going to botch this a little bit, but they created this material that's like it's like similar to like human. Like it has the ability to be as
Foreskin?
delicate as human skin, where like they used the material. It's for the screen, like the touch, whatever. It's for like the part of the whatever something for the metaverse it's used for. But they used this same material like in experiments with like robotic hands and arms and shit, and you had it like handle very delicate fruit like raspberries and shit, and it was so delicate it was able to like handle these items. This material was so sensitive and like high tech. It was able to like handle raspberries. Where like a robot should like squash raspberries, like oh like duh, you know what I mean? But it's like fucking. It was
What's that to
so
do with
precise. It's just the
I'm
material.
lost.
It's the
fucking
material.
lost,
It's the
dude.
material that they developed for the metaverse. I'll look it up.
So
Metaverse.
Facebook is turning to. Let me get this straight.
What is
I'm
real
gonna try.
and what is digital?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
It's like the same.
Facebook is
Mark
changing.
Zuckerberg says a new skin-like material could support metaverse ambitions. So like in the future, I don't know how, dude. It's like it's for future shit. That's what I'm saying. There's not any application for it right now, but there's this skin-like material that they created. That
so
is
you're
like-
talking. You're telling me that Mark Zuckerberg made skin?
I don't know if he made it, but he funded it. At the
All
very
I know
least.
is that Mark Zuckerberg skinned some motherfuckers,
He's probably
and now he's like, I got all this material for the metaverse.
We're back to the adrenochrome.
Yeah,
Just the aliens he skins in his
Yeah.
basement.
Dude, the aliens.
I don't know what you just said, but fuck that.
I know. I don't know. The metaverse freaks me out.
I don't know what.
People don't leave their houses
Somehow
as it is.
thinking of Jeepers Creepers.
Wait,
I hear you.
So Facebook is turning into the metaverse,
right.
and the metaverse is going to be.
It's
I
gonna
thought
be
it
like
was going to
social
be like.
media in person.
I thought it was going to be so stupid of me. I thought it was going to be like Facebook being like, "Oh guys, we fucked up." Like everyone realized that we actually capitalize on like your terrible mental health and like exploit all these terrible things. You all know that now. Meta is going to be the new and improved version where we don't do shit like that.
No.
That sounds like Skynet, bro.
You're an idiot. This is going to be way worse. Like they're already collecting our data with Facebook. Think about it this way. Like imagine how much data they're going to collect if you're literally walking around and like living. Like you're going to be able to like have your own house. Like say your bedroom, your apartment.
Yeah.
Like you could be somewhere else, put these glasses on, and you're in your apartment. And you could move around and you'll be able to fucking do shit. And like feel like you're home. Like think about I don't know. Just
Yeah,
think
but you
about-
know you're not.
yeah, but like I don't know what the technology is gonna look like. Where like
It'll never be the same, bro.
it's gonna be weird, man. It's like Wii though. Like remember when Wii Sports came out and like the Wii, the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
Like the trailer, like the commercial for Call of Duty was like, oh my god, the guy was like jumping over his couch and like shooting shit. It looked so real. And then you go to play it on like the Wii and it was so fake and like shitty and like
Right.
it was nothing like that. I can't see the metaverse being much better than.
People will dig it for sure.
Well, nobody's gonna leave their house.
Your boys, mark my words, I've said this before, I'm going to be an outside guy.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be someone living on the outside.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, because, dude, like, I see the way that technology's going. It's trending this way, and, like, we're not going to stop it, and, like, people are going to embrace it and shit. But, like, haven't we learned that technology, social media, all these things, like, as far as your mental health and your, like, the way your brain produces, like, dopamine, like, it pretty much gets fucked up
Right.
with all these things.
Right,
Like, you kind of have to go outside and, like, climb a tree once in a while to, like, be happy and
Right.
feel, you know what I mean?
Right. Feel things for real, for real.
Right. And also,
I will
isn't it-
say, though, like, maybe every once in a while, like, on a Friday night, I go into the metaverse as, like, my Justin Timberlake character and, like, put on a dope concert. That would be kind of chill.
you can go to virtual concerts in the metaverse and shit.
No. I'm like, I am the virtual concert.
Oh, that would be fun.
You know what I mean? It's like Sims. Like, does every metaverse connect, or is it like
That's so
I'm the
depressing.
Sims, and I'm like, all right, over there a roller coaster, over there my house, over there a pool, and then it's like everyone is like a simulated person in my own world, or you go into the metaverse and everyone's connected. So it's
Everyone's
like
connected.
You got
it's like social media.
yeah, but
in
what if I
person.
want to be like that? Sounds like online mode. Most games have online mode where everyone interacts, but they also have campaign mode. Can I just do like, can Mark Zuckerberg just like give me a storyline that I can just follow?
Probably, dude.
Cool, sign me up.
Okay, cool. All right.
I can't wait to try my skin on.
I'm gonna walk into your house one day. You're gonna be in like a fucking jumpsuit with like sensors on your head, just like
That's what I want.
not now, dude. I'm performing in the garden. Fuck you, dude.
I'm in my underwear.
Oh shit, yo, how ironic is it? And I'm not saying I am not peddling
That's
a
not what
conspiracy
we're
theory
saying. That's
about.
not what we're saying.
No,
No,
I'm not peddling. I really am not peddling.
I know,
a
me
conspiracy
either.
theory about like the. Or I'm not.
I'm not.
About right about like the COVID, like who created it or whatever. But isn't it weird that Facebook, COVID,
Right.
forced us to stay inside for long periods of time, and honestly, some people, as we just saw with this woman with this kid, are still inside.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Facebook creates this thing where you basically never have to leave to socialize ever again. It seems like an odd capitalization on the current state of like the world, and I don't love looking at Zuckerberg's like pale alien face and then like watching him deliver like this new technology news and like not.
Dude,
it's impossible.
I hate Mark Zuckerberg.
The man it's wild.
I hate his
Dude, his
guts.
eyes, like he's like that fish. You know the fish in Bad Boys 2? Like that's That's a nice fucking fish. He's got some big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish. Like his fucking eyes are like off.
Yeah.
To the point where it's not like he's ugly because of it, but I don't trust him because of it.
Right. It's like Nancy Pelosi's.
Like her eyes and her titties. Right.
Right.
Did you guys
Exactly.
see like the compilation of him just saying "Sweet Baby Ray's"?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was dying.
It's just not natural. It's not natural.
Wait, can we play that, Frankie? I want to watch it live and just like have a quick laugh about it fucking sucks before we move on. That man. And you know what's the movie Facebook, the movie
the
Social,
social network. Justin Timberlake.
It did, right, Justin Timberlake.
It's
Wow.
propaganda.
Well, that's
the
the
CIA.
thing. The thing is, it doesn't
Shut
paint him
up.
in the most appealing light. It definitely makes him seem like better of a person than he is, but it still kind of makes him seem like a douche.
All right, but Jesse Eisenberg is the best.
Who's Jesse Eisenberg?
I think that's the name of that actor.
Oh,
I love that guy.
Oh, that guy that
Yeah.
plays him. Yeah, he's awesome.
So I'm just
And
like,
that-
oh, yeah, like Mark Zuckerberg's the man.
zombie.
Now I'm
Like,
just like,
dude, look at his face. You see what I'm saying? His eyes are fake. He's a bot. Like his eyes, dude. He's got a bump.
Barbecue sauce, I hope. Delicious. But hopefully for Canadian Thanksgiving, you get to eat a lot of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. That is going on the ribs.
his eyes are black.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
He's a lizard
Sweet
man.
Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's is very good. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. We have just applied the Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. Sweet Baby Ray's. Maybe throw some Sweet Baby Ray's on the ribs and take it from there. She's waiting for her ribs. I mean, she knows what's coming, and Sweet Baby Ray's.
His eyes are
Dude, I
the
told
lizard
you.
thing. The lizard thing is spot on.
That's
Wow.
good.
It looks like a deep fake.
Yo, it does look like a deep fake. Like somebody put his face on a face. He's a bot.
Yeah,
I just heard your
this is-
mom.
This is what Facebook Live is for. Just hanging out while you're sitting in your backyard, waiting for your Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
Oh my god. Okay, pause. Speaking of lizard man,
That guy is controlling the future, which
Right.
is sick.
sick. Speaking of lizard people, I am watching the new season of American Horror Story, and it's like split into two, and the second half is about. It's like a horror story about aliens, the government. It goes back to like Nixon and Dwight Eisenhower and like all these fucking people. And I'm watching. No, spoiler alert: it sucks. It's fucking terrible to watch, but it's kind of like entertaining. And they go into like they discover like this alien race, and then they say, "But there's actually another race, and they look just like us, and they're actually reptilian." And like you're like watching somebody deliver a speech on TV, and like his eye turns into like a lizard eye. It's the corniest shit
Dang,
ever.
yeah, you don't want to see that.
It's so
Where it does like
corny.
the blink that way.
Yeah, it does the blink. It's like, oh, this
Come on,
stinks.
we know this one.
It was so corny, but they're like doing the whole play on the freaking lizard people like conspiracy, which
Right.
is kind of funny, but it's brutal. It's real bad. Don't watch it.
Staying on the topic of COVID a little bit, I saw this and it was just pretty bonkers. China locks down Shanghai Disneyland because of there was one COVID case. Apparently, they didn't even know if it was in the park or not. Apparently, like they thought it was originally in the park the day before or some shit.
Right.
And kept 34,000 people locked into the park,
yeah,
and
there
they
it is.
all had to test out of it to get to leave.
Shit. To leave, they had to test positive?
No. To leave, they
test
had
negative?
to test negative.
What happened if you test positive? They fucking shoot you?
I think you
They
got shot.
They squid game you?
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
here, red light, green light, bitch.
No, I think they just like made them go home, but you know,
made them go home and probably quarantine, right?
yeah, go
Dude,
home and
the,
quarantine. Yeah.
Probably drag them into cells.
Did you hear?
They did, yeah. If
did
you
you
remember, they were dragging people. out at one
So
point.
China has a zero COVID approach.
They do have a zero
like
COVID
zero
approach.
COVID,
right?
like,
So
to
that
the-
one case, 34,000 people, boom.
So but it's to the point where they there was a county I read. I'm gonna botch this a little bit too, but there was one county in China. They literally turned all of the traffic lights red because
yeah.
there was a positive test, and they needed to like get the person and like everybody they were in contact with. They fucking every light was turned
In
red.
Jiangxi, authorities turned all traffic lights red to halt movement after a single case was identified. Its first in almost 2 years. The move was reversed after public outcry. In Beijing, some residents complained of glitchy health apps recording their location in the wrong place and leaving them stranded. On Monday, Beijing's health Commission asked people to avoid leaving or returning if possible. Hold on. In Ruli, a small town on the border between China's Yunnan and Myanmar, repeated lockdowns and waves of outbreak had driven people away. Local media reported that one baby in the city had been tested 74 times since September.
What? That's in a month and a half, 2 months? 74 times?
What are we doing to this baby?
Just shoving things up his nose?
Are we just testing the baby? Is the baby an experiment?
Is the baby anybody's baby or is it our baby?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I think it's our baby.
Right?
Is every baby our baby in the CCP?
That's a good question.
Is anything anybody's anything? Is it our everything? I don't know how it works. Oh shit, Pfizer just kicked in. Or are you Moderna?
Yeah.
Moderna.
No, Pfizer.
Oh, Pfizer.
I just wanted to. I thought the 74 times thing is just that's banana land.
That's crazy.
What the hell?
That's on the level of keeping your kid inside for 2 years.
Right.
That's just as nuts.
But the government did it.
But
I
also,
guess.
what's gonna
Or
happen?
did you test your baby 74 times?
But what's gonna?
What's wrong with this thing? You shook it. Stop shaking it. There's nothing wrong.
Yo, anytime you're gonna like pretend to shake a baby, like you're gonna get a laugh. You know what I mean? Like it's like so alarming.
I
You're
swear
like,
to God, I think it's positive this time. Janice, you've been here 65 times. You've got 64 negatives. Get the fuck out of here.
like who's calling for these tests? Like no, test it one more time. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Holy hell!
It should have been followed by neurotic mother was then arrested.
She was then Squid Game.
Yeah. She linked up with Nebraska mother who kept her child inside for 2 hours. They're
Is
now
that where
dating.
she was from? Nebraska, that woman?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Seems like accurate assumption.
My question was, first question is a fun one.
Right.
Now, when they locked down in Disney World, there was fireworks going on. People started hearing about it, and then they were like, fuck, all right, but let's finish the fireworks show. And then they shut all the rides down and all that
In
good
China.
stuff. Yeah. Let's say, just so happened that they were like, the rides are going to stay open kind of thing, and there was like not a lot of people there. What's your first like COVID lockdown ride? Like, do you lean in and you just start going crazy? You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting
So
at here?
are you asking me what ride I would go on first
Right.
if I knew I had a limited time at Disneyland?
Right.
Okay. That was a really long way to ask that question.
Right. Remember when you were telling all the percentages before?
Right.
We're
right.
even now.
We're even. The percentages was rough. I could not read
That's
it.
what you're here for, to help me out.
Yin yang. Disneyland rat, right?
Right.
I'm going, Frankie, was Dudley right Disney? No, that was Universal.
Just
Dang.
log flume over and over again.
I'm going, was it Thunder Mountain? Was that the water ride? Thunder Mountain was a good one.
Yeah.
I might go to the Safari. Or no, dude, the
I wouldn't go near the
boat
lines.
ride. The boat ride. You know the boat ride where the cute little boat ride where like the fake crocodile. They made a movie out of it with The Rock. The
Oh, Jungle Ride.
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise.
Me and Frank used to love the Jungle
Right.
Cruise. So you're a kid, they would bring you up top and like let you hold the fake gun.
I would honestly rather get stuck in Universal Studios if it was up to me. If I got locked in at Disney World, I would be pissed. I would be like, God, I wish we were locked in at
Yeah.
Universal.
You know what we would do though? You know what me and you would both do if we were at Disney? We would go right to like, don't they have the carnival games at Disney too?
Oh, yeah.
And we would just get some prizes.
Right. It's
Like,
prize time.
Like I'm not going on Disney rides.
It's absolutely prize time.
I'm gonna go. What am I gonna go to the Palace? Maybe go to Epcot though. No, that's Universal too.
No, Epcot is Disney.
Epcot. Oh, get some sick little pasta
Yeah.
from Italy. Little
Maybe go to
dumplings from
the
China.
World Center and get like every soda that's ever existed and get really yipped on sugar. That would be fun.
Right.
And then by the time of the testing, you're just like, that'd be cool.
Right.
My other thing was like, imagine if this happened in Florida, the reaction that would happen. Because it was like pretty much widespread compliance of 34,000 people, that's a lot of compliance.
Well, that's what communist
Sure.
dictatorships will do to a
part
to
of
a
me.
crowd.
Part of me felt like it was a little bit of like a flex, where it was just like, we're fucking powerful. We could shut down the Disney World and just flex our power. You know what I mean?
I don't think
it felt
it's
like
even
when
a
I'm
flex,
at a day
dude.
drink at Delaware and we're like, everyone's having a great time, and then the cops come just to be like, fuck you, and we're like, we have this power over you guys. Like, it felt like one of those.
Okay.
One COVID case from the day before, and 34,000 people have to leave the
it was
happiest
the
place on
day
earth.
before.
Yeah.
That the COVID case came out at.
I think I can't say that for facts.
Are they masked up in China? Like, were people at this Disney just like wearing masks? I'm
Probably
just
a little
trying
bit
to
of
get
both.
A picture of it.
Probably a little bit of both. Because I've
mean,
seen like
they-
concerts in China where they were like packed in and had no masks on.
They were wearing masks before though because
They're like
the
that.
atmosphere's so bad. 'cause of
Right,
pollution.
Right, the atmosphere's bad. I remember when SARS came around, they were wearing masks and shit. It is pretty bananas.
If you
I mean,
did
not
that
to
in
get
Florida,
back into it.
if you did that in Florida, If you tried to lock down Florida in Florida.
Well, the thing is, if there was one COVID case at Disney or Universal or anywhere in Florida, nobody would ever care. Like it would never fucking happen. But if you tried, guns, I feel like are guns huge in Florida?
For sure.
I feel like guns
Not
are
in
coming
Disney
out.
World,
If you're
yeah.
locking people in Disney World, guns.
Do you think
shots flying.
Floridians
They can't
go
bring
in?
it into the park.
Yeah,
Says
but
who?
maybe the Floridians from
Conceal
the
and carry.
outside here, because it was the government that was going in and shutting down the park. You know what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't Walt Disney.
Well, I would hope, right?
It was government officials. So if government officials in the United States went to Disney World, locked everyone inside over one case, would the Floridians from the surrounding area team up a la mode and fucking show up and just go, let's go, motherfuckers?
I think they would. I think it would be like Zombieland, but with like Floridians. You know the last scene in Zombieland?
So pretty much
they're at
Zombieland.
Right, Zombieland. Right. Right, the meth lab of America.
Yeah.
No, it's not Albuquerque. Whatever it is. Yeah, that would not go as well.
Wouldn't go
But
well.
that's what I'm saying. Like when you have a communist dictatorship, like that's why I don't think it was even a power flex. Because in China, they're just like, oh, okay, we're
Right.
gonna just do it. We don't even think about it. Like 30,000 people.
Well, the
I've
article
never
was
seen
saying
30,000
that
people in America agree.
the
on
article it's saying, but tolerance is beginning to wane, especially when it involves so few cases.
Sure, tolerance is going to be beginning to wane.
I'm saying,
but do
dude,
they
you're
have
at the
a say?
happiest place on earth that you're one day off of work. There's one case, and then your whole fucking vacation is fucked. That's not great.
No, it's
Fireworks were on, so you know it's the end of the night because fireworks are always like the last thing.
not. Right over the palace.
That's
right?
why it feels like a flex.
I think maybe it is a flex.
We know where Disney's at.
I
with
mean,
stuff, with
honestly,
the
I
Fauci
would even
Disney's involved.
I would even consider the vaccine mandate in America borderline a flex. It's like a power. It feels like a power thing because there's no science that makes sense behind it. You know, so I would say all that's kind of a flex. Their flex is just way scarier because they
They can flex harder.
They flex way
Like
harder.
you
right.
flex hard.
I flex pretty hard.
Yeah.
Right. Sick.
Right.
I'm vascular. Yeah, I don't like that.
What else we got on that list? That's just something, yeah.
Speaking of China, I do want to watch this TikTok thing.
Okay.
Have you seen this yet?
Yeah, I watch it.
You watched it? Frankie, have you seen this yet? No. So, I mean,
Okay, speaking of good information.
yeah, skip up to the thing. So TikTok, as we know, like remember Trump back a year or so ago was going to ban TikTok, and then he did this whole like forced sell thing where an American company like bought it.
Microsoft.
Right, Microsoft was going to force it, but I don't think it was Microsoft that ended up.
It was
going
gonna
to
be Microsoft.
It was going to be Microsoft. Different company ended up buying it. But anywho, so recently TikTok apparently hired a bunch of like Republican dudes, like these Republican adversaries or whatever, and onto their board. So one of them is being questioned in front of Congress under oath, and they're trying to determine whether TikTok is like sending our information to China, to the Chinese Communist Party, because that was the big problem back in when Trump almost banned it. The algorithm is apparently so good or strong or whatever that it knows like everything about you. Have you ever been on TikTok where you've come across one of those videos where it's like, stop, if you're listening to this is supposed to come to your page, like tell me if this doesn't sound like you, and they like list your height, your name, your fucking mom's maiden name, like literally everything. It's so accurate.
I honestly don't go on TikTok.
Dude, it's happened to me a couple of times. Like I've literally stumbled upon a video that it's like, oh, like you'd probably work in this field.
Your
and,
name
like,
is Joe. You're vascular.
Dude,
you got a sick V.
right, sick V, huge D, like
Yeah.
all those things came up, and
You were like, whoa, China really knows me.
they're like, wow, they get me. Love China. But like literally,
Thanks
to
for the
point, like
compliment.
it was so many things in a row. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, that's weird. Like, so the algorithm has been a whatever. So this is Ted Cruz questioning the TikTok, somebody on the board of TikTok.
Right.
And you could play it from there.
And leave it on for what
Technology, a,
Sagar
quote,
says after.
Other
Yeah.
affiliate of our corporate group, as your privacy policy defines that term.
Senator, as I pointed out before, my answer is the same.
Yes or no? You didn't answer.
Senator, I appreciate you're trying with gotcha questions. I'm just
It's
trying to be,
not a gotcha
I'm just trying to be
question.
true-
I'm
just
asking
trying to be
about
true-
your
I'm just trying to be
policy.
truthful and accurate about the
Are you
connection
willing
between-
to answer this question, yes or no?
Senator, I answered the question.
You have not answered the question. Is it another affiliate, yes or no?
Senator, I stated a number of times that entity is a domestic entity within China for licenses there, and
apples are red. You stated something that is not the question I asked. Is it another affiliate as defined under your privacy policy? Yes or no?
Senator, I
You're
answered.
here under oath. Are you going to answer the questions?
I
or
answered the question. It is
or
not-
were you
it is not
instructed
affiliate-
not to answer this question?
No, Senator, I'm just.
So you're just not refusing to answer it because you don't want to?
Senator, it is not affiliated with TikTok. That's your question, and that is the answer.
So your answer, I want to be clear because you're under oath. Your answer is that Beijing ByteDance technology is not a, quote, other affiliate of our corporate group, as your privacy policy uses that term. This is a legal question with consequence.
Senator, I understand the question. As I pointed out, TikTok is not available in China. That is an entity that is for purposes of a license of a business in China that is not affiliated with TikTok.
So for the record, you're refusing to answer the question.
I believe I answered your question, Senator.
Yes or no? Tell me which one it is. Just give me one word, yes or no.
Senator, I answered the question.
You're not willing to say yes or no.
It was not a yes or no question. I want to be precise.
Okay,
I want to be.
Is this company another affiliate as defined in your privacy policy? That is binary. There's not a maybe. It's yes or no.
Senator, I'm the way I answered, I'm not aware that is the answer to the question.
Okay, so you're refusing to answer the question. That does not give this committee any confidence.
Not aware that that's not the answer.
That TikTok is doing anything other than participating in Chinese propaganda and espionage on American
Senator,
children.
that's not accurate. And
I love that
again,
leap,
I would point you to
If it were not accurate, you would answer the questions, and you have dodged the questions more than any witness I have.
This is very important, Crystal. And look, I know it's Ted Cruz, and I cringe too whenever he talks. So, I'm sorry. But this is very important because what they get to, TikTok likes to say, we do not share any information with the Chinese government. The reason that Beckerman will not say that, as defined under their privacy policy, that ByteDance, the corporation which owns TikTok, which is here in the United States, is because if they admit to the fact that they share data with ByteDance, who owns them, by the way, then they are admitting which ByteDance, which is a CCP-controlled company, this is not me saying that, their CEO has apologized publicly before to the CCP for not treading the party line. Their own company holds doctrination sessions where they go over CCP ideology in their headquarters. All of this is a matter of public record. The reason he won't say that is because if he admits that they do share that data, then you are de facto quasi-admitting that you are sharing your information with the Chinese government. Now, maybe you're cool with that. Like, maybe. And, I think a lot.
So this just made me, first of all, that guy was fucking blabbering. Like, he was so caught up. But it got me thinking about, like, for, like, us, right, on TikTok, like, there's only so much information they're going to really gather from me. Like, for me, like, or you, they're going to figure out we have fucked up sense of humor. We like watching videos about this politics, and we like, tits and a big butt, like, every once in a while. Like, that's really the data they're collecting from my TikTok history.
Right.
But what it made me start thinking about was, remember when Facebook first came out and little kids and us, like, we're putting drunk pictures up. You're putting up, like, albums of, like, just too much information about your life or statuses that are embarrassing, or like, I just deleted my freaking Facebook. You post something that's maybe, doesn't age well. All these things, right, that you would post blindly and then you regret later on. I'm thinking about, like, the 5 and 10-year-olds on TikTok right now. Like, if you actually, like, it doesn't come up on our For You pages,
right.
But if you, like, really go to the depths of TikTok, people are, like, putting things about their divorce up there. They're putting, like, for real, there was a TikTok trend a couple years back where, like, men who were left by their wives would do this slow-mo, like, turnaround video like this, like, and it would be this, like, dramatic song, and then, like, while they were turning, they would, like, take off their ring, and they would, like, look at it, and then you'd just be like, psh, and then, like, throw it at the camera and, like, slowly turn and walk away. Like, shit like this. Like, embarrassing shit.
We need that trend.
Should I find it?
They know that. Well, I don't know if you can find that right now.
Like,
is it more, though, that... So it's okay. So it's that you're going to use it against them in the future?
My point is, yeah, I mean, that was just kind of a fun example of shit that people put on TikTok. My point is, though, like, we might not be, not everybody would give valuable information to TikTok or China or whatever, whoever it is. But there's some people out there that are putting way too much shit on the internet, and that's just giving, like, it just opens the door for, like, the Russia, like, type.
Right.
Like, what's it called?
I mean,
manipulation. And
I
shit
think
like
it
that.
at least opens the door for, like, eventually catering it to, like, manipulate people's viewpoints and, like, continue to drive hate. Like, Facebook didn't start as a fucking boomer, death pool where people just fucking harass each other all day. You know what I mean? It started with it was a college thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like as people get older, their view, and TikTok is honestly, young kids are pretty political now.
It's wild.
You know what I mean? So like the division there could continue kind of going along.
Well, it's already, I feel like with TikTok, like that's the thing that's the problem with the algorithm. Like I'll go on TikTok, especially after we'll go on like a run of like talking about politics, like recently we have been, and like most of the videos I see are like things that are just my opinions that I already believe in, like just reinforces the shit I already think.
So it keeps you in that.
Keeps you in that. Like, so for little kids who stumble upon like some socialist fucking thing or some like really far right thing and they kind of agree, it just keeps slowly.
So there's that.
Right.
There's that aspect of it. Which China, you know, if they wanted or did, because I'm pretty sure that America does the whole date. Like Facebook did the same shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So China's
They're getting caught in it right now.
Right. So like the United States government has a data, which is our own, like that doesn't make me comfy. So, you know, another country having our data also does not make me comfy.
Did we?
But there's also, isn't there some part of this that's also like trying to sell
us shit?
Like sell you shit, where it's like they know you, so like they can fucking continue to sell you shit.
Well, that's part.
So there's
of it,
ads
for sure.
also.
Yeah, there's ads and shit. Yeah, I mean that's the surface level part of it. Like I mean I don't even pay attention to the ads anymore.
Right.
It's weird. It is creepy when you like talked about like marshmallows, and all of a sudden there's like
I will
s'mores
say
ad.
During wedding season, I was really talking to my phone a lot about that. I really wanted skinny floral ties. And shout out to the brand like Demai or something like that, because I just started immediately getting advertisements. I picked up like 4 ties and they all fucking delivered. Every wedding people were like, dude, that's a great tie. I was like, fucking Jeff Bezos, baby.
See, it is kind of useful,
right?
In that sense,
it's nice.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind the ads all the time. Like I don't like the fact.
I don't
that
have a
that's
buying problem either, honestly.
Right. I definitely don't have a buying problem.
People get
like
Amazon boxes fucking all day. People are addicted to buying shit on Amazon.
I couldn't be less addicted to buying shit.
Yeah.
I love buying like one or two.
I feel like you buy a lot of shit.
I haven't bought shit in 2 years.
When'd you get that sweatshirt?
This was a gift from my grandmother for Christmas.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, she knew me, right? I like grandma bought me this shit.
Your grandma's swag go, dude.
Yeah, dude. Usually grandma misses on the apparel. She nailed it last year with this one. She got me some nice jeans. Grandma slapped last year.
Okay.
I forgot what we were talking about.
You were gonna say something about what we were just talking about, but I interrupted you.
Yeah, it's fine. It happens all the time.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I don't have a problem with the actual ads themselves. I don't love that that's how they go about, because like I'm not always talking about products that I want. I'm talking about like everything and my views and opinion. Like I'm like, is there like a database where where everything's saved? Like is there like
yeah, they have a file on you.
Like, is it vocal? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you know
they have everything.
You know when you're watching the news and all of a sudden there's some crazy scandal and you're like, how the fuck did they get that guy saying that thing from 12 years ago? Like, one day, I'm going to run for office because we're going to have nobody left. You don't know shit. All right? My mom, dude, was so funny. My mom the other day, we were all cooking last Sunday, and I was like low-key pretty stoned, and I was joking around like, I'm going to run for fucking president. I was obviously kidding. It sounds terrible. And my mom was like so serious. She's like, you should.
My mom wants me to be going politics, so I'm like, it's never happening.
I have no poker face, like no shot. I sweat when I get nervous.
Right.
I lie, I sweat. It's over. Like I got nothing to bring to politics. But my mom was like, you'd be so good. You'd be amazing in politics. Oh my God, we need you. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm fucking nuts. You should read my YouTube comments. Tell me you want to go for politics. My point is though, I'm nervous one day I'm going to be, doing something very important.
Cancel culture. Just lean out, bro. Fuck that shit. Fuck it.
And it's just going to be
It's going to happen.
Thing.
It's already happened. You got the first one. You got the first one. You got the hate mail. The hate mail is going to come.
I don't care
They're
about
going to keep digging shit on us. The file's going to keep growing and growing. But so are our stacks of paper, and we're not going to care.
Yeah, right. Stacks of paper.
I got the iPhone SE, but one day I'm going to be able to buy them the
12
best
plus.
What else you got there? I'm out of stuff.
I got a few things. I kind of want to. We could end with this. Okay. So Epstein's back in the news. Epstein's been in the news, honestly, like 3 times this month, 2 or 3 times this month, for different reasons. Post-mortem. Post-mortem? Yeah, post-mortem.
One would say it ended in an open-ended way.
It was certainly open-ended, being that he, didn't give us any answers and was dead.
Right.
But so the Barclays Bank, one of the bigger banks in the world, the CEO, what's his name? His last name's Staley. Frankie, pull up that chief executive.
I think it's disappointing that this is
Jess Staley. So Jess Staley, he left the bank after a dispute because this is a UK story, and so there's no nitty-gritty details about it. But this guy apparently had like immense connections to Epstein after like going through, like when the whole thing was going down and Epstein was on trial or he died and all that shit was kind of popular in culture. His ties were brought up and he was like, I saw him these dates. I didn't see him after 2014 when I left the bank. When I left JP Morgan, I went to Barclays Bank, whatever. Said he never saw him. And like all this information supposedly is coming out that is not true. So it just is like another one of these guys that's like this billionaire a bunch of times over that is doing weird shit with this guy. And I just kind of also miss the days where we would just speculate about Jeffrey Epstein because there was no consequences. The man's dead.
Right.
You're talking about terrible things he supposedly did, so you can't feel bad about it. Like
I mean, he didn't supposedly do it. He fucking did that shit.
Right, he did the shit. But like even like now, everything we talk about has so much consequence.
Right.
Everything is like everybody's so hot to. The Epstein shit was like, if I'm wrong, whatever. I'm insulting some dead dude who did bad shit. Like, who cares? I just miss those times, man.
The elites and Jeffrey Epstein is it has always been the reason why everything, for me personally, that was the first thing that opened my conspiracy doors up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I was just like, what is happening?
I feel like for you, that wasn't even just the conspiracy doors. It was like because that ended up being a true conspiracy theory.
Right.
Right? And for you, I feel like that was your, unfortunately, and this is what we'll have to like hang our hat on this one day, but like that was your political awakening for real, was the Epstein thing. Like I feel like when Epstein happened, that's when we started really talking about like getting into it because like we could agree on it finally.
Right.
You know, it was fun to agree on. Really. It brought us together. It brought a lot of people together, that horrible piece of shit.
Well,
it really did.
Around that time,
Left,
I remember everyone was kind of talking about, like I remember us in Long Beach and like we were sitting in the backyard and like we were all kind of like getting conspiratorial a little bit, but like people were kind of like never done that before, so everyone's kind of like talking all weird and
tiptoeing around
stuff, and I'm just like, yo, they're up to shit.
Yeah, and then everybody would be like, I know, right? Everybody would agree,
and then everyone quiets back down because it's like, all right, I'm not in lockdown anymore. Okay, right. I can go to the beach and go get fucked up with my friends and not have to think about this shit anymore.
But it's also one of those topics, like once you start going on it, you're not finishing.
Right.
Like it's one of those things that's like you can't talk about. You can't get into the conspiratorial like details of that whole situation without going completely spiral. Like, you know what I mean? Like
without landing at the Great Reset.
Right. You're landing at globalists and the eugenics. Like you're not stopping. And then you have a picture of Alex Jones above your bed and you're like fucking lighting candles and shit. Like shit gets weird fast.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, it gets really weird.
Slippery slope.
Really fast. But I just miss those times.
Yeah. More to come. I'm sure more to come there.
More to come for sure. Yeah, that's really all I had. There's not much development there, but I just wanted to bring that up. And then I think we could wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Happy to have you. We're going to keep posting shit. Please share stuff with your friends. We're trying to grow and do all that good stuff.
Right. That's right. Yeah, we're trying to grow. Like our shit. Subscribe. Comment. Talk shit to us, honestly. It was fun.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Hold the emails, but...
Yeah, I mean, just comment it.
Yeah.
Whatever you can say to me, you can say to everybody.
Right.
It's the community.
Right. This is an open floor.
Yeah.
You got something to say it in the comments.
Agreed.
Don't attack us personally.
I mean, please.
In like real life.
I haven't slept.
Yeah.
Love you, though.
Later.
Peace.